Welcome to another monthly portfolio update. If you are stopping by for the first time, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. In this video, I'll share with you how much I invested in my taxable account in September, the number of shares that I bought, and the value of my portfolio at the end of September. But as always, before I continue, a quick disclaimer. The information that I'm sharing is not financial advice. Before you invest in anything, please do your own research and make sure that you only invest in things that you understand. With that being said, I will dive right into my portfolio update. I will start with a quick recap of my August portfolio to show you the value of the portfolio and the number of shares that I had before the beginning of September. The total equity of my portfolio at the end of August was $51,320.97. $51,312.72 was the market value of my investments, and $8.26 was a cash amount. At the end of August, my portfolio was up of $4,925.29. This was a plus 10.62%. These are my holdings: 2 Vanguard ETFs and 2 BlackRock ETFs. VCN is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the entire Canadian market, and I had 80 shares of a VCN at the end of August. VFV is a Vanguard S&P 500 Index ETF. This is the Canadian version of VOO, and I had 248 shares of VFV at the end of August. XEQT is a BlackRock ETF. This is an all-in-one equity ETF which holds Canadian equities, US equities, developed market equities outside North America, and emerging market equities. And I had 414 shares of XEQT at the end of August. XUU is a BlackRock ETF that tracks the US total stock market, and I had 222 shares of XUU at the end of August. I will now show you how much I invested in September and the number of shares that I bought. I bought 2 shares of VCN. The cost per share was $40.96. The total cost, $81.91. This is 13% of the amount that I invested in September. I bought 2 shares of VFV. The cost per share was $107.30. The total cost, $214.59. This is 34% of the amount that I invested in September. I bought 6 shares of XEQT. The cost per share was $26.61. The total cost, $159.65. This is 25% of the amount that I invested in September. I bought 4 shares of XUU. The cost per share was $44.92. The total cost, $179.69. And this is 28% of the amount that I invested in September. In total, I bought 14 shares, all the ETFs combined. And the total amount that I invested was $635.84. This is $3.75 more than the amount that I invested in August. As you can see here, in August, I invested $632.09, and in September, $635.84. The difference is $3.75. The total equity of my portfolio at the end of September was $49,707.68. $49,635 was the market value of my investments, and $72.68 was a cash amount. At the end of September, my portfolio was up at $2,611.73. This is a plus 5.55%. As of September the 30th, I had 82 shares of VCN, 250 shares of VFV, 420 shares of XEQT, and 226 shares of XUU. All right, let's now take a look at some quick details about each of the positions. I will start with VCN. The closing market price on September the 30th was $39.68. The quantity of shares that I had, 82. The average price, $40.41. The book value, which is how much I have invested in VCN, was $3,313.90. The market value was $3,253.76. This was 6.55% of my portfolio. VCN was down $60.14, or 1.81%. Next, we have a VFV. The closing market price on September 30th was $103.26. The quantity of shares that I had, 250. The average price, $95.87. The book value was $23,967.52. The market value, $25,815. This was 51.93% of my portfolio. VFV was up $1,847.48, or 7.71%. Then we have XEQT. The closing market price on September the 30th was $25.70. The quantity of shares that I had, 420. The average price, $25.14. The book value, $10,558.58. The market value was $10,794. This was 21.71% of my portfolio. XCQT was up $235.42 or 2.23%. Finally, we have XUU. The closing market price on September the 30th was $43.24. The quantity of shares that I had, 226. The average price, $40.63. The book value was $9,183.27. The market value was $9,772.24. This was 19.66% of my portfolio. XUU was up $588.97 or 6.41%. September was kind of a tough month for the stock market. At the beginning of the month, my portfolio was up 10.62%, but at the end of September, this return was cut roughly by half to 5.55%. This is despite having invested $635 in September. If you take the S&P 500, for example, it was down 4.87% in September. Some people attribute this decline to the so-called September effect. For almost a century, September has been the worst performing month for the stock market. According to Yardeni Research, which is a consultancy firm providing investment and business strategy services, the S&P 500 has closed down 52 times in September since 1928. This is more than any other month. There are people who consider the weakness of stocks in September to be attributable to seasonal behavioral bias, as investors make portfolio changes to cash in at summer's end. There were also other things that put pressure on stocks in September, such as consumer spending concerns and the potential US government shutdown, which was narrowly avoided, at least until mid-November. We will see how things work out for the last quarter of 2023. If you are a long-term investor, you don't need to pay attention to any of these events. Personally, I will stay the course, keep investing consistently, and focus on the long term. All right, feel free to leave a comment below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out.